All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time, here to talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling. Just going to reflect on what we talked about. We recently talked about WWE Monday Night Raw. Kind of gave a little bit of a review about it. It was all in all, I thought it was a pretty decent show. I loved it 1,010%. So we're gonna talk about WWE NXT. We're gonna talk about it as after this little hype video right here. Guys, remember to hit up that super chat. Be a part of this show. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Whether if it's got a burning question or a hot take in terms of professional wrestling or just something you've been dying to get off your chest. Go ahead and drop that thought. I want to hear your voice. Don't be shy. Hit up the thoughts. Send your thoughts inside the chat, and we will talk about it. Let's keep this conversation going. Here at the GSMC Sports Network, we are all ears. And if you really want to make sure your comment or question gets noticed on air, why not use that super chat? It's that $ below the chat box. Sending your message, your opinion, your statement, whichever. And it's guaranteed to be featured on the show. Plus, it's a great way to support the GSMC Sports Network to bring you even more awesome content that you guys love so dang much. You're absolutely super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily. Your support makes all the difference. So let's keep the conversation going, keep this party going. Send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super, super duper awesome, and we can make this show bigger, better, and stronger than ever. And, like I always say, if you don't want to hit up the super chat, we are still, you can find us at the gsmcpodcast.net. Hit up the tips and donations link. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show. Follow the network. Here at the GSMC Sports Network, we do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity 1,010% of the time. But if you have some criticism, by all means, it's all part of wrestling talk. It happens. Feedback is a gift. So 1,010%, make sure you guys, send in your opinions inside that chat box, and then we can make this podcast a lot of fun. A lot of fun. All right, so now we're going to talk about some. Now we're going to talk about some NXT. NXT overall, it's heading toward the CW. It should be an amazing show. I honestly can't wait for it 1,010%. So yeah, let's go ahead and dig on it as soon as I find me notes here, mate. All right, NXT preview tonight. Obviously, CM Punk looks like he has something to prove. Looks like he has something to say. Is it going to include Drew McIntyre? I kind of hope it doesn't. Keep the Drew McIntyre stuff on Monday Night Raw. I want to hear something crazy. He makes a special announcement. Obviously, their first show is going to be in Chicago, Illinois. He's anticipated to probably announce a match or maybe perhaps a tournament for, I don't know if a new belt or for the number one contenders, kind of thing. I was, kind of speculations on, his wife, AJ Lee, returning to professional wrestling. It's already been showed that he, through social media and through wrestling news media that he's been training with his wife. It would make a lot of sense for her to make a comeback, especially with the NXT needing a big star to kind of challenge somebody like Roxanne Perez, Jada Parker, Soruka, also Julia, also Stephanie Vaquer when she decides to kind of make her way inside of the ring. A lot you can see a lot of AJ Lee inside of Roxanne Perez. 1,010%. That's something that a lot of discourse around professional wrestling has become an agreement on. So. I can see speculations about maybe age. Obviously, this probably on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe has like a 2.5% chance of happening. Which he comes out, my wife is coming back, and this and that and the other, and it should be pretty interesting because you do have Julia taking on Roxanne Perez for that NXT Women's Championship. Maybe he announces that he's going to be the special guest referee. That could possibly be one of the things, one of the two. The special guest referee announcement seems probably fitting. I'm pretty sure that probably has a great chance. But it's gonna make an announcement tonight. I hope it's something big, something that for wrestling fans to kind of wrap their heads around. I think they kind of owe it to us to have that. Next, we have Lola Vice taking on Jayce Jayne. This fatal influence with Jasmine Nix, Fallon Henley, and Jayce Jayne has been running all over NXT. Jada Parker also is on the hunt for Lola Vice. You can probably bet on the first episode of the CW, you're gonna have these two girls looking for a third tag team partner. Maybe somebody comes to mind. Maybe a TNA star. That would be pretty badass. I think that'd be pretty awesome. Right now, no, yeah, Fatal Influence has just been rubbing the NXT women's locker room just, oh my God, the wrong way. It's crazy. Everybody wants to kill him. Everybody wants a piece of him, which I guess in a way, even bad publicity is technically good publicity. You know what I mean? So in that aspect, and Lola Vice, she's impressive as hell. Every time she's inside of every time she's inside of a ring, she's, it's kind of nice that NXT could kind of have that, kind of have that former UFC fighter that a lot of people respect. But then again, they don't hype her up too much. Kind of like when you saw Shayna Baszler move on from NXT to the WWE main roster, when heard the debut of Ronda Rousey was going to happen. I think she kind of settled in, quite perfectly. I think, although she wasn't that like in your face, like that crazy, famous or anything like that. But I don't know, just her adjustment. It looks like she takes good bumps. She hits her spots, and it doesn't look like she hurts her other competitors. So 1,010%, I think she's title worthy. There's no doubt in my mind that in the future she's probably gonna be holding a title. Would be interesting to kind of see, holding the NXT North American Championship, because her and Kaylani Jordan are kind of tight. It'd be kind of cool that once when they knock off Fatal Influence, Kehlani Jordan gives Lola Vice like a, kind of like a, not like a pity title shot, but like a, hey, since you kind of helped me out, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. That's kind of the philosophy in life, even in the professional world, or even like, talking to your neighbor back in the backyard, be like, hey, like, can I borrow this to do my lawn? And then once when they need something, then you scratch their back, and that's just how it is. That's just how it is. That's how life is. So 1,010%. That's why in life, don't burn any bridges. Make sure have good acquaintances. Don't be such a jerk sometimes. Take it one day at a time. Treat other people like you want to be treating you. I'm not giving out life lessons. It's about wrestling. We're going to talk about wrestling. Wrestling. So tonight we have Lyra Valkyria teaming up with the always interesting, kind of funky Tatum Paxley, still playing with dolls. I thought it was kind of adorable because I have daughters who also play with Barbie dolls and stuff, and sometimes I have to be the character. You have to put on a voice. Like sometimes, I'm the dad, and the dad they have like my son has a Spider-Man doll that I come in on. Hey, what are you guys doing? And they're like the little baby Barbies, and I go, and I thought, it's just, kind of a cute little thing playing house and stuff like that. Although it seems like every single time we play house, like they always end up like hurting the Spider-Man character. I'm just kidding. No. Once again, rambling on. Not here to do that. Obviously, if they had a family podcast, that'd be pretty cool. Talk about being a dad. Dad podcast. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. All right. Anyways, they're set to take on Wendy Choo and TNA's Rosemary, which is also, both of those girls themselves seem like they are they have issues. They have issues. Send in those tissues. I'm just kidding. No, but Wendy Choo's match against Jordan Grace at TNA Victory Road, it wasn't bad. She showed a lot of promising. Obviously, nobody right now is probably in the same category as Jordan Grace in terms of professional wrestling on the women's side. Rosemary looks like she could be pretty scrappy. I see Chu and Rosemary picking up the victory here. I wouldn't have no idea why you would kind of push the Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley kind of edge a little bit, because you still want Chu and Rosemary to, because they're in collaboration. You got a TNA star, NXT star teaming up. That's just more money. That's just more money. 1,010%. But Tatum Paxley did hop over to the TNA side as well. Maybe she, a lot of fans followed her to WWE NXT. That's kind of the purpose here of back and forth superstars. It was like, oh, Charlie Dempsey from NXT. And then people were like, man, I'm impressed by watching this guy's match. I'm going to tune into NXT on the USA Network every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. So, but Lyra Valkyria is super impressive. Man, this girl, she can fly. She can fly. She's great inside the ring. She had a promising future. Had a great start in WWE Monday Night Raw, but we kind of see her come back down to to NXT, which is not like a demotion or anything like that. So I thought think it's kind of cool. She's going out to have her former partner Tatum Paxley, and yeah, it should be pretty awesome. Next we have Eddie Thorpe taking on Ashante Adonis. These guys have been kind of back and forth with the ladies, and you're kind of making me look bad just so you can make yourself look good. And obviously Adonis didn't really like the Eddie Thorpe angle last week, so these guys are going to go at it one-on-one tonight on WWE NXT. Next we got a no quarter catch crew going up against Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander. I think it's going to be a great match. I definitely think this is a sleeper match for being probably the most entertaining thing on this episode, because you have the no quarter catch crew. I think it's Tabian Heights, and I don't know if it's going to be Charlie Dempsey. It would make sense if it was Dempsey. It would 1,010%, or against Miles Bourne. I'm not too sure. Javon Evans, that boy bouncy. I definitely love Javon Evans. Become a huge fan of him. Every single match I watch him, can't take your eyes off him. So definitely think he's a great promising superstar that WWE NXT has. Cedric Alexander, obviously, a little more on the older side, but I feel like he could still ball. He could still ball 1,010%. This guy was literally, once when WWE had 205 Live, this guy was like the face of 205 Live. Every single match he was in. And good bookings on pay-per-views. They fought on a couple of pay-per-views, which was actually kind of cool. But other than that, after Tuesday Night SmackDown, and it was kind of crazy back in the day, once when I started becoming a wrestling fan once again, after I took a little hiatus, because I was like, as soon as I fell in love with wrestling, I was like, man, why did I ever leave? That's crazy. Contract signing tonight, we have Trick Williams, Ethan Page. Will we see Joe Hendry tonight? I don't think so. I think Joe Hendry's probably going to be off of NXT until, I want to say, it would make sense for him to make an appearance on the first episode of the CW. That would make so much sense because he's a huge star, and I feel like NXT's they're going to need that. Trying to sell out stadiums, and not stadiums, but trying to sell out venues and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely think 1,010%. This contract signing will end with somebody probably being thrown through a table. Classic WWE. Who's it going to be? It was Ethan Page's turn last week. I think this week you're going to see Ethan Page kind of get the better of Trick Williams. I think, you kind of owe it to Ethan that much, just so like when people go into this match, there's still like a back and forth discourse of like, hey, maybe Ethan Page could actually do it. But as of right now, Trick Williams just looks like he has all the momentum in the world. He can't be stopped, and Ethan Page is going to be at his mercy. And I kind of hope it doesn't. It's not one of those matches where I hope this match exceeds probably like 8 minutes, the shortest. I think I think they kind of owe it to their two top superstars to kind of go at it and stuff like that. So yeah, I can't wait. All right, guys, next, our third segment, we're going to talk about an Alexa Bliss return. We're going to talk about some of the updates that I've read online, some potential storylines, some potential bookings. Will she wind up in the Wyatt Six? It could happen. So, grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me here in about like 20 seconds.